Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Spencer.
Mike.
And this is the Board Game Rundown. And today we're going to review Last Light from Gray Fox Games, designed by Dice Tower Hall of Famer Roy Kennedy. I just throw that in there. I mean, he works there. Anyways, this was a much anticipated game that several of us were excited about and backed it on Kickstarter. This is Bob's Kickstarter copy. I am waiting for mine still. Hopefully tomorrow. We'll see what happens. This is up to 8 players if you have the Infinity Box expansion. Otherwise, right out of the box, it plays up to 4. This is a 4X game. You're exploring, you're attacking your opponents, you are
exploiting resources.
What's
Expanding.
the other X? Expanding. And so that's what we're doing. We are going to be spreading out through this little galaxy here and exploring the different planets, flipping over things. You might get something, you may not. And then you can leave a little extractor to give you resources. And then the closer you get into the white dwarf star up there in the front is it's going to give you points basically. First 1 to 20 light wins, right? Or triggers end game.
Yep.
And then you see what happens. I wouldn't know what that was like because I didn't get that close. But effectively, what you're going to do on your turn...
Watch the video to find out what he did wrong.
Yeah, no doubt.
Everything.
But effectively, everybody has the same 6 action cards. Everybody's going to simultaneously choose one of these action cards to play, and you're going to resolve them in turn order and numerical order. So, research is number 1. So everybody that did research is going to resolve their research first. If there's a conflict or multiple people pick the same thing, that's when you default to turn order. But what this is going to let you do is it's going to let you draw some tech cards and then maybe build some tech cards. Then there's the mining, which is going to let you gather resources from anywhere where you've got an extractor. You'll always have at least one on your mothership here, your colony ship. There's construction. First, you can build ships in your in your colony ship sector. And then if you are the only one at a planet, you can build an extractor there. Or you've got 3 spots on your colony ship, you can build an extractor there. And that's free. Then there's trading. Trading's pretty straightforward. It tells you exactly what it does on the card. The fun part about this, though, is you get to pick 2. And then you're also giving an opponent 1 common resource also, which makes for some fun negotiation through the game. Then there's 5. This is the refresh card. This is the only one that I feel like is a little tricky. And it's not... in a bad way. It's just your brain is going to tell you it does one thing, and it does, but it doesn't. Because what happens is refresh is going to let you pick up all your other cards. Okay? So if you're used to playing other games like Concordia or like Lords of Hellas, where it refreshes your actions and stuff, you think, oh yeah, and I get this back too. Not so fast, my friend. You have to wait for all of the refresh actions to go down. Once they're all down, that's going to trigger a phase here on the board, but then that is when everybody will then get to pick up their refresh cards and add them back to your hand. That does not pick up any of your other cards that have been sitting there since your refresh card.
Right.
So that's where it can get a little tricky. And it's not like, oh, it's a hard rule. The rule makes perfect sense. It's just keeping it straight in your mind that I'm only picking up this one, or I'm not picking up this one, and I'm picking up everything else. That's it. It's not, other than that, it's fine. And then the last card is command, which will allow you to move and then attack. And the cool thing with combat in this is it's very straightforward. And if you're attacking somebody and they didn't play a command card, they are not attacking back. So sometimes you are timing where you're going by looking at what other cards people have played and knowing if they've got a command card still in their hand or is it out. And if it's still in their hand, are they going to play it this turn too? And so, I mean, it's all pretty straightforward. When everybody does the refresh action, because this, again, just do what the card says. It makes perfect sense. Once everybody has done the refresh action, we're going to move this bad boy 90 degrees. Whoop, and then we move this whole thing, however many degrees that was.
45.
Back up.
You're moving it from one symbol to another.
45 degrees.
45 degrees. So 90 and then 45. And but then also the inner part moves when this moves as well. So you're getting a real shift. And this makes for an interesting dynamic because where originally I only had access to planets that were a minute ago right here. Now, after everybody's done that, we've got a whole new set of planets that I have access to, opponents that maybe I wouldn't normally see but because they're literally on the opposite side of the board. But next thing I know, they're right in my face, and I'm just going right, into them. There's other ways to score points, but via text, maybe faction abilities, having ships in the center when it rotates. When you play your refresh card, there's a couple ways to get light there as well. But that is the real quick and dirty how to play Last Light. If you want like a little bit more in depth and actually watch a full playthrough, we will have that, and we'll put a link to that. Where would that link be?
We did both.
Oh, look at that. Right down below. Well done, sir. All right, guys. Well, let's go around and talk about what we thought about Last Light. I'll save you for last since this was your Kickstarter.
Okay.
And we'll start with Mike.
Sweet.
Okay, first of all, the aesthetics here, it looks really good. All of the planets, all of these resources.
Now, this is a Kickstarter version. I don't know
Yes.
what will be different
From the base copy?
From the base.
Yeah, all of these like basic resources. Man, these things are really cool. I mean, that's the most obvious. But the gameplay itself feels really good. Like, I feel like I am playing an Epic 4X. I'm moving around. I'm paying attention to what other players are doing. But I'm also trying to wipe them off the map so I can control these areas and get light for controlling these planets in these middle two circles here. I really like this action selection mechanism. You already know. I like this action selection mechanism because I love Concordia, I love Ankh, and we've got shades of this going on here, and I like that a lot. I like that I can see what people still have in their hands and may potentially play, and me potentially react to that. I found this game really, really enjoyable, especially kind of trying to synergize the different texts that I've got on my ships. It feels really good.
Yeah. Spencer.
Oh, it was very fun. And yes, it does look good. I like the art on the cards. One small minor gripe I have, these cardboard things here that you put on top of the colors, I kind of wish they were tile or something. They needed more weight to them because it's just so easy to accidentally knock them over, and I'm having a hard time picking them up because I've got shaky hands and things like that. But other than that, I mean, that's such a minor problem.
Yeah.
There are so many different ways to play this. Even in the first turn, we all did the same thing except for him. But then I'm looking down at the trade card and I'm realizing you could have done this as well and gotten 2 of these resources.
Still gotten
and
stuff
then
right away.
Yeah, and still been doing things. Plus, if you run out of cards and you don't have one to play, the game says you get to bring your cards back, which it means it would almost happened. Because I had cards. You weren't playing your refresh, but it would mean that things don't get refreshed because it comes back.
All right.
But also, I always was able to do something. I didn't run out of things because I had the trade that allows you to just gain. And if it didn't have that, then that last turn would
I like
nothing.
that trade card has that on there
It
too.
does, yeah.
I think that's a good rule.
I like
So you
that.
can always get something. You don't always have
Right.
to just trade. Because there was definitely early on, I was like, well, I'm going to take one of these, and I'm going to take another one.
I think I underused trade. I needed to use it more.
I want to admit one thing about the look of this game. When I first saw just the plain black board with white lights, I was a little underwhelmed. But now that I'm seeing this spot UV finish in these lights over here, I'm loving this board. It doesn't overcomplicate what is necessary to play the game, and it still looks good while you're playing it. So yeah, could they have put some art of planets and stars on the board? Sure, they could have, but nobody really pays attention to that, and you don't need that thematically for this
I
game.
like the star mappy kind of look.
Yeah, almost like the world between worlds type of.
Yeah, you can see that again under certain lighting. You'll notice it, and it really pops, especially in this studio. So.
Yeah.
And these components, I mean, these are nice. I really like these components. I like how, even the concept, you're fighting for the very last bit of light in the universe. It's such a cool idea. Everyone has their own asymmetric powers, and
There's
I
a
use
ton
mine
of them.
extensively. Oh yeah, and there's lots of them. Plus, they all have
Whoa,
a little
look at that
bio.
stack.
Oh my goodness.
A lot
A
of.
lot of replayability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to do this again.
Wow.
Yeah, and they all have their own little thing on the back. If you like the story.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot here.
Now some of them do come in the expansion, right? Like the Infinity Sign is the last.
Oh,
light.
sure.
Oh,
But
yeah, the expansion for the up to
There
8
is a ton
players.
of them.
But there's a lot of options here, right? A lot of options in this box. All right, Bobby, what do you got?
So what's funny is I scored the very first point and then didn't score a single one the rest of the game. Yeah. But I still had fun. Like, I might not have looked like I was having a bunch of fun, but I was just trying to figure out. I couldn't get the timing right on this game. Like, I played it once before, demo last year at Gen Con, and I really enjoyed trying to get that timing down. This time I couldn't do it. I was trying to use my ability, and I couldn't get the right text out to get everything kind of like feng shuiing like the way it should have. But like, I still had fun. Like, I remember I got my ships, I got them boosted up with extra damage, and then I rolled like crap and both my ships died. It happens, you know. But I enjoy the game. I like the exploring to see like what tiles you're gonna get to get like an insta bonus, and then like what kind of resources are gonna be available. Okay, yeah, I want to build an extractor there. I want to try to get my ships into the middle to try to just get that free light every time I refresh, and like it's beautiful. And having had to assemble everything and put it all together. It's got a sheet that tells you just how to put everything together, so it makes it simple, easy to do. The insert is nice. Everything fits inside there. I was able to get the Infinity and the Last Light all in one box with about maybe this much, box lift. But I think I could probably finagle it to even get rid of that. So yeah, I mean that's always a big plus for me, like being able to consolidate everything down. Maybe a little bit more diversification, or maybe a better shuffle job on the text would have been nice, because a lot of times I did draw cards that were the same.
Yeah, I literally drew
Yeah.
one that was like they were all three the same cards. That's Mike's fault.
That's more Mike's fault than I think the deck's
I
fault.
wonder who won.
Yeah, no kidding. But no, like I too enjoy the like, oh, which one am I do this time? And then you're trying to gauge what everybody else has. That card system is super fun. But yeah, I can't wait to play it again. I want to try some new factions. I want to explore new planets. I love this board because like there's different setups, and one of my big things I complain about a lot of times is as player counts change, a lot of games don't change the worker placements or the thing like it's the same board whether you have 2 players, 5 players, 6 players, but there's literally a different setup for every single player count from 2 to 8 players. These are double-sided, so depending on what you're playing with, they have that, and then they also have.
Man, it would be bonkers to see this game 8 players.
These wings that get added on, so when you add more
goodness.
players, it expands the
I
board
love
even
it.
more for more players. Yeah, so it's awesome, right? And then so it also changes up like which of the rare or common like exploratory tokens get placed on every planet. So those resources are changing constantly, and it's just so much replayability. It's awesome bits. The dice are beautiful. Like it's great. I can't wait to play it again.
Yeah, so like I've kind of gone through like different waves of emotions about this game. I'll start off with my nitpicks first. I think that for the scope and the quality and the awesomeness of this game and everything it brings to the table, the fact that like the factions or the colored factions like repeat ships. So like Spencer and I had the same style of ships even though we were different colors. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Like that's a weird thing to double up on sculpts.
Yeah.
Like either every ship all looks the same, you know what I mean, or everybody should be different.
Yeah. So between the 8 colors, 2 of them will share sculpts.
Right.
2 colors will share sculpts. So
Right.
there's 4 different sculpts.
It's a nitpick.
Yeah.
It's a nitpick. This is, and I only say it because they put a lot of effort into making this game aesthetically
Yeah.
pleasing.
And these are all
But
unique.
look at these asteroids, Tim.
Yeah.
/ walnuts.
Yeah, walnuts. I was thinking about this. What I'm going to do with mine is I'm going to
Definitely shade them.
Paint them
I'm gonna-
brown
I'm
so
gonna-
they look like walnuts.
I'm going to spray them black
Yeah.
so that squirrels don't eat them. Because if I paint them brown, the squirrels are going to come in and steal my house.
Gotta be matte.
But then what I'll do is I'll dry brush like the stone
Sure.
on it, and that'll give it a nice look.
I even
and
think just a
nice
wash
texture.
would be good.
Make
on
one of
there.
them like an ice asteroid or something.
Oh yeah, you could do that,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to. I've made up my mind. That was like sort of my big complaint on the components. I think otherwise they're fantastic. The cards all look cool. I think this would be a mother to try to sleeve, but I would.
Oh yeah.
I would sleeve my action cards.
Correct.
right?
These are constantly holding. I would sleeve these. I wouldn't bother sleeving the tech
The
cards.
tech cards, no, because
Somebody who sleeves a lot of games, you don't need them.
The stack will be that tall,
They're already kind of falling
gosh.
when you're trying to draw.
and
from
you're
there
not going to
sometimes,
handle them near as much.
and you don't handle as much. These I would sleeve. The others I will not.
Yeah. But I mean, these all look awesome, right? They're beautiful. The board looks cool. I said in the video, it kind of reminded me of the map from Time Bandits, which I love. I think all that stuff is really cool. I do think the colony ships are a little weak sauce.
Sure.
But I mean, again,
Nitpick.
I'm nitpicking.
Functional.
Because there's so much awesome stuff, then like you see the weak link in it and you're like, oh, why don't you that too?
Yeah. But again, it's functional, does everything. I understood immediately like how it worked once the rules were explained. It's like, oh yeah, this goes here, and then if I want, I can put one there. Perfect. Great. It does its job. So again, those nitpicks do not affect my score. I'm just, if we're talking about a game and we're gonna like dig in deep, right? Other than that, the gameplay was fast. The teach was very easy. This is a game that you could play at conventions, right? Because people are going to be like, holy crap, what is that? All the planets look great. I cannot wait to see what mine look like, you know what I mean, when I get mine, because I know they'll be a little different because they're all swirly stuff in there. There's more planets, right, in the box?
Yes.
We didn't even use all the planets. I didn't get the light-up planets. Did you get the light-up planet?
No, I didn't go in for that.
Okay, yeah, I didn't either. But.
Yeah, look at this. There's the insert there. You can kind of see right the overhead.
Yeah,
But
I like how
spot
you
to
can
hold
just
everything.
glance and be like, okay, that one right there, it has green, red, and blue. So,
Yep.
oh look, it's got green, red, and blue.
Yeah. So, I mean, really, they did a great job, honestly. The gameplay is really fun. It's easy. We had a great time. Even though Bob was getting smoked, we were still having a good time.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I had made like a fun little push towards the end, but I never really felt like I was out of it though either. Even though we felt like Mike's on the verge of winning. Well, honestly,
First it was Spencer.
It was me first.
Yeah.
And then we all,
And then Mike went.
yeah, we just overlooked Mike. He did that like Catan strategy where you just,
Second place is what I didn't say.
second and a half
Munchkin.
place, right?
Yeah.
And then everybody, but no, this was really fun, and I like a lot of things about it. So I guess we should give this a rating.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Mike, how do we rate games on the board game rundown, sir?
All four of us will give it a score from 1 to 10. We'll average those 4 scores together. We'll give you 1 score for the rundown. That is the score that we put on BGG, Discord, or anywhere you want to hear it.
Well said, sir. Right, Mike. What's your score for Last Light?
Roy, you knocked it out of the park. This game's awesome. I really like how easy this game is to play, how elegant this is, and yet how many different branching strategies there are, how much replayability there is with all of those different variable player powers. The components are fantastic. I'm wavering between 2 scores. I'm going to go with an 8.5. I really feel like the more I play it, it could definitely go higher. This is based off of 1 play. But, man, it could definitely go higher. An 8.5 is obviously still a great score. I really enjoyed playing this.
Spencer.
So my favorite game, or one of my favorite games, is Race for the Galaxy, which has a separate hand of action cards and tech things you play into a thing in front of you. It's a space theme. So is there any question that I would like this game?
Well, it doesn't have dinosaurs.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Or
true.
Celtic
Not just
Knot.
Race for the
Yes.
Galaxy.
Okay, fair enough.
So for me, this is a 9.
Nice. Bobby.
Yeah, I'm actually between those 2 scores. I felt like once Spencer got so far ahead, it was going to be almost impossible to catch him. And then Mike was able to build up and catch him. But I feel like I got knocked down so much that I wasn't able to come back up and catch back up. So I'm going to go with the 8.5 for now. But I think with a few more plays and maybe a few more tries, and I could, because it's more of a me strategy kind of a thing. But I think that I worry about the runaway leader. But like I said, Mike was able to kind of come back. So I'm going to go with the 8.5 now, but I could definitely see with more plays this going up to a 9. But 8.5 for now.
Well, I think that's a legitimate concern because I usually am the one that brings up that concern. But I do think, with now you've played it, now you also, we should be aware of the signs, right? Like,
Get on that early.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
both of them, right? Like, okay, he's running, but like he's not far behind,
Right.
But if you don't,
Every refresh, you kind of know who to start beating on, though.
yeah, you do, you do. We looked at you
Beat
a
on the
little
person
too
that
late.
has that card that lets them pick that card back up right away.
Yeah, no
and
doubt.
reuse their command card.
No
I had
doubt.
That's
nothing
super
that could do
powerful.
that, and that's it was
No
super
doubt.
difficult to
Yeah,
do
and
that.
you guys really beefed your ships up pretty well.
You did.
and it worked out really well. Anyways, all that aside, this is a 9 for me. This is really good. I really enjoyed it. honestly, I don't see a lot of flaws. Now, again, if we play it like 10 more times, because we will,
Yeah.
because it plays fast and everybody will want to play this, and we keep seeing the runaway leader thing, I would definitely come back and go, it's probably closer to like a 8.5 or an 8. But I think games like this, a lot of times, sometimes you'll see one person run away with a lead, and that's because everybody else is sort of feeling out the strategies,
Right.
you know, and stuff. And with this game, there's a lot of timing, you know, and stuff that's kind of important. But I also do feel like there's a lot of flexibility in this. So, you know, a bad turn early in the game, I don't think damns you for the whole thing.
You're correct.
You know, because it's not so punishing that you can't get your ships back out pretty easy.
Like I said, it was a lot of me things. Like I kept doing an action, like, oh, I'm still a resource shy of doing two things. And I do something in it, and it was out of the. Oh, I did it in the wrong order. Like it was definitely a me thing that I only had this one.
And I forgot to say this, but like I loved how cheap the ships and the text.
Yeah.
felt. You know what I mean? Like it felt like it was really easy
Yeah.
to get stuff off.
Yeah, because then you're just I'm just doing
Pumping 'em
stuff,
out.
You know, I'm doing stuff, and so to pop out a bunch of ships on the board like
Yeah.
really fast and just go right through it. Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt really rewarding. They were never like, other than like if you had attack turns where you're just not rolling well, that's the exception. But
And that happens.
if you time your actions correctly, every action feels really good.
Yeah.
Like you're doing, building multiple ships or. Man, I mean, my strategy was just spread out and get those extractors down, and then here I am gaining like 8-9 resources
stupid
on
amount.
a turn. And I got a handful of stuff. Then here comes
Ridiculous.
everybody trying to take me out.
And then Bob is coming by like tuppence.
So if you take our scores and you average them together, that's an 8.8.
Yeah,
That's
this
solid.
game was terrible. Just
Yeah.
kidding.
It's awesome.
It's really good. It's really good. I'm glad it's good. You know, I backed it too. I'm waiting on mine.
wish I did.
It's always a gamble, right?
Right.
You're like, okay, well, I mean, this looks good. It should be good. Everything sounds right. No, they nailed it. They really did. You know, my complaints are nitpicky and some of just Gen Con experience.
Yeah, Gray Fox games, man. I tell you what, there's a lot of games that have come out that I've backed that I've just been like, After the Empire,
Yeah.
Last Light, Champions of Midgard. Man.
Wow. Yeah. Detective Murder in Hong Kong. Right?
Yeah.
That's good. So yeah, this is another good title they got under their belt.
Yep.
And I'm excited to see what else Roy comes up with.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, no pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if he's a one-hit wonder, this is a great one hit
wonder.
to have.
Phenomenal first design.
But yeah, and they did a lot of very cool things with the planets.
It was
Like
very
that's
unique.
really fun. So, all right, guys. So I think we all agree, right? Pretty good game.
Yeah.
Okay, if you found this video helpful, please consider liking, subscribing, joining our Discord, hang out with us on Facebook, do all those things. Mike and I do a live stream every Wednesday. Be there, be square. And we have special guests all the time. It's super fun. If you would like to support this show financially, we do have a Patreon. If that's your thing, we'd love it. If not, just give us a comment, thumbs up, thumbs down, anything like that. We appreciate the interaction, and we appreciate all y'all watching. Anything else, boys?
Just check out the playthrough. It'll probably be a link at the bottom before this comes out, maybe or after. We'll see what the timing
We'll
is.
see what the timing is.
Yeah.
All right, guys, for the Board Game Rundown, I've been Tim.
Bob.
Spencer.
Mike,
See you next time.
here goes the last light.
No.
Anticlimactic.